Congratulations, Bruce, on what you're doing with the League of Green Embassies. I wanted to offer my words of support and encouragement to this effort. I think that U.S. embassies around the world and embassies from other countries can be places where visitors can see the practical benefits of incorporating these new 21st century techniques that are cost-effective, easy to implement, and which reduce CO2 emissions, save energy, reduce costs. It's a classic win-win strategy.
What is the U.S. Embassy in Vienna doing to become greener?
I'm glad you asked. The U.S. Embassy in Vienna is part of the League of Green Embassies, which includes 25 U.S. embassies across Europe. Here in Vienna, we are currently in the process of an energy renovation of my residence, the residence of the United States Ambassador to the United Nations, and the main embassy building.
Although this has a thermostat, the thermostat's a good first step, but it is not, it doesn't bring a full level of intelligence to the heating system. In an old building like this, where you don't have the insulation, you're going to have losses continually. Part of the trick is don't heat the room when you don't use it, because you're just going to lose the heat anyway. Mm-hmm. So the trick of bringing intelligence to the radiators, which is easy, means that they become fully programmable. So if you say, hey, we never use this living room from 11 o'clock at night till 5 o'clock in the morning, they simply shut down, and then they begin to warm back up in the morning before you come in. Or if you've got a wing of the house that you only use 2 days a week, or mm-hmm. All of a sudden they all become intelligent from a centralized location. So what's interesting about this bulb is it has, it's 40 watts incandescent, so it's about 92% inefficient. So 92% of the energy that goes here, or of the 40 watts, right, more than 36 watts end up in heat and not light. And what you want, this is not supposed to be a radiator, that's why you have radiators, this is supposed to be lighting. So what we can do is effectively take about 80%, depending on the bulb we choose, anywhere from 35% to as much as 80% of the power out of it to give you the same light. If we look at the sunlight coming in here, and think about, you have two issues. One, you have a tremendous amount of heat gain in the summer months, and you also have a tremendous amount of ultraviolet light coming through and ultimately damaging the wood, damaging the carpet, damaging the fabrics. With the addition of a smart power switch, we can take this and probably reduce the draw on this down to a couple watts, 2 or 3 or 4 watts, instead of 100 watts. So the same opportunity here, you have a lot of appliances that are running all the time, and they don't need to. The printer's running, that box is running, the computer may or may not be running, I can't tell right off. If I unplug that cord right there, this box right there is about the same thing as a 30-watt light bulb running 24 hours a day. Why? When I can assure you nobody's using this right now, and we can fix this for pennies.
In Vienna, the U.S. Embassy is part of the League of Green Embassies. That's some 80 embassies worldwide that are committed to going green and becoming more energy efficient. So why did you decide to become part of this initiative?
The League of Green Embassies is a perfect example of the energy efficiency movement. This is a significant collaboration by the Department of State with the Departments of Energy and Commerce and clean tech exporters in the United States. But it also brings it home, to my residents in fact, and shows how many small changes can make a difference in our carbon footprint. We're committed to reducing operating costs through energy efficiency. At the same time, we'll be reducing greenhouse emissions of our embassy and official residences. With historical buildings, you can't do complete renovations, but you can make a lot of small changes to make the buildings more energy efficient.
It's a great idea to pursue the installation of these new techniques and approaches in embassies to demonstrate why businesses throughout the world should be adopting these same kinds of approaches. I encourage any businessmen and women to think hard about the benefits for businesses of using these same techniques, which they'll be able to see in participating embassies, to lower costs and improve efficiency and help the environment at the same time.
The business community in the United States is really picking up on energy efficiency in a big way. In a survey of facility managers just recently across the United States, facility managers have a lot of responsibilities. They were asked what their priorities were. And it was a surprise to some people that their first priority is energy efficiency. And I think that's very good news. Businesses are looking to take advantage of smart grid technology as well as all of the efficiency possibilities. On our campus at UC Davis, we have a whole new village to house students and faculty that is designed to be completely supplied by renewable energy. And in order to do that, efficiency of the buildings had to be the first priority. And we were able, California has very strict standards on energy efficiency, and we were able to actually reduce energy consumption relative to those standards by about 60%. So that shows the potential for using all of the new tools and technologies that are now available.